him play Rhyme, and we've seen him play Cruel to great extent, really successful on it so far. So if they're able to replicate what they've done with the Cruel in the past, they should be able to take this serious. Too early to say though in this draft.
Absolutely. Cruel going to be the first pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Rhyme as the counter pick coming on through here. If not, wouldn't be surprised to see that banned by Fnatic in the next rotation. But as you said before, still lots available. Lyra is going to be the lock-in here for Dynasty. That's the other kind of premium captain that was available outside of Arden.
Yeah, and so now for Fnatic, they're going to have to obviously figure out where they want to go with the captain. Dynasty can ban a third captain here if they really want to kind of squeeze that available hero pool for Net Toilette. If they take the Catherine off the board, then kind of there's still options, but they are not the top tier options. They do take the Grace away, so the Catherine will be available most likely for Fnatic, so they don't have to be too concerned about that. But now you have to wonder where they're going to go with their ban. The Kestrel could be the target. Rhyme could be banned away here if they really wanted to as well, but I feel like they're confident in having the Krull going into the Rhyme, but evidenced by the fact that they first picked it.
Right, I would really like to see the Rhyme ban here, just to allow the Krull to dominate the jungle matchup, especially since Blackfoot is already off the table. Besides that, you mentioned the Catherine. If Fnatic really want to send a message to everyone else in Europe, I would say they need to go with the Churnwalker as that captain. Show every other team that you've been practicing a lot and that you're coming in really serious into these next weeks and hoping to secure your world spot.
I mean, we saw SK playing that Churnwalker. Petal going to be banned, by the way. Oh, Reza coming in. We'll talk about Churnwalker later if it gets picked up. Reza locked in here for Dynasty. Rikumeza wanting to play this aggressive style.
Yeah, the Reza is, I think, kind of like a third or fourth tier. I shouldn't say tier because you can have multiple heroes in a tier.
Third or fourth
priority when it comes to the CP junglers after things like the Alpha and you potentially even CP Blackfeather, things like that. But it is still a very strong pick that people are starting to figure out. When he first came out, everyone was like, oh, he's a little bit too weak. He doesn't have this level of impact that you need him to have. But with the CP item changes, he's been able to find a nice little niche for himself. The early game is still a struggle for Reza, but once you get that Aftershock online, once you start to get yourself to those items, you can start making some massive impacts.
Right, I mean, it's not only the CP items, but also the fact that he got quite buffed in 2.9, so that's why you're seeing him a lot more in this update. The Catherine picked up with Fnatic. We talked about how she was open, extremely strong heroes, and combines well with Cruel because you have multiple choices of CC now. You have the silence, you have the stun from Catherine, on top of the stun that you get from Cruel, and with the Vox, a hero that TechnoJJ just played really well, they're able to have that backline damage to carry through the game later on when Cruel's damage falls off a little bit.
And look how aggressive this composition is once again from Fnatic. You can really force these fights and really, like, this is a composition that wants to chase people down. But Idris going to come through here for Dynasty. Would expect that one to be going into the lane with the Reza in the jungle here. So what are our thoughts on these compositions then? It feels to me like Fnatic are once again going to be trying to be aggressive, trying to force the issue.
Yeah, most likely going to be the case. They want to make sure that this Reza gets shut down, doesn't really get into those power spikes until it's already too late. The thing that's going to be interesting is because you kind of want to do that in both roles. You want to shut down the Idris and you really want to shut down the Reza early on. They're only going to really be able to focus on one of those two. So it'll be interesting to me to see where Fnatic goes if they try and put the emphasis on the lane and get the huge advantage for TechnoJJ like they did in game number 1, or if they focus purely on the jungle.
It's also about the fact that Fnatic are stronger pre-6, but around 6 mid-game, Dynasty will become stronger, so who's going to hit and apply their power spikes better?
Yeah, it's all about knowing your composition and when to push. It's time to get on into this one. Hashtag Vainglory is how you can let us know whether Fnatic are going to 2-0 this one, or if Dynasty are going to come back into things. It's time to pass it over to our casters once again and get into game number 2 of this quarterfinal.
Well, that's right. Let's find out if Fnatic can do this one right now up against Dynasty. It looked absolutely incredible in game 1. Sean, this is a different story. We got a couple new picks out on the map here. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good, Humanist. Rikumeza on this Reza, I see a lot of potential with him. If he's able, we do see a lot of buffs that he's actually gotten in 2.9.1. Looks like Mowgli's trying to steal away that Elder Tree Blade.
How hard was he really trying, though?
Well, I guess he was trying to do a little bit of poke in there. Just harass while his carries actually go ahead and farm up, do their double carry jungling right now. But Rekameza, so him on this troublemaker here, he's gotten a lot of buffs actually. His Nether Form detonator, it has a longer duration. He has better fortified health as well. He's able to have a better cooldown, lower cooldown on his troublemaker, so he's able to just zoom around the fold very, very easily. And oh, it looks like we got stop on the backboard there.
Yeah,
But-
a little cute stop.
Yeah,
Liam
but
taking a good chunk of damage up in the lane as Palmatoro and made the rotation up, just letting him know that he's hanging out empowered in the shadows.
yeah, that's another thing that we need to watch out here from Fnatic, though, is this Cruel, really, really strong hero for the past couple of patches. We've been seeing him get a lot of play here on the fold. Looks like they're going double. They could be going double weapon power here. So if they do, oh well, there's a little bit of engage. Mowgli, no?
That's a
Backing
poke
off.
gauge.
Little poke gauge, and then minion candies popped as well. But if they do go double weapon power here for Palmatoro and Techno JJ, then all we have to do is have Dynasty just go ahead and pick up some metal jackets, and that's going to really help them out. Unless, of course, Palmatoro does pick up a bone saw later in the game, some kind of pierce, and that's going to be allowing them to get through that armor breaker status.
Now, the reason I said that Mowgli had like a strange kind of harassment early on is because he actually allowed Net to just stack, get a couple stacks on his passive there. Net sitting at 7 Captain with guard stacks at 2.5 minutes. That's actually really, really good for Catherine.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. And even though she has gotten a nerf on her Captain of the Guard stack, she does not build 2 armor and shielding anymore. She only builds 1 per stack. It's still pretty strong because we do have real. Oh, looks like they're going to go ahead and back off. And they did. It looks like Rekameza did take that Elder Tree in there. But yeah, the Captain of the Guard stacks, they're still important because we need all that extra shielding and armor that we can get on Netwillet, because armor and shielding has been reduced here in 2.9.1.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Net, you'd like to sit around 2 per minute, ideally. I think if you can, a lot of people not going to hit that. He was sitting at 3 per minute there early on, now just continuing to get more. Mowgli, he's going to move up, throws the sigil into the brush, giving a little bit of vision and a little bit of, sustain if he gets into any sort of skirmish there. He's ready to support PT Lamb up in the lane. Netwillet just moving forward. You see these stuns, like, if there's anybody watching and they're just like, why is he doing this stun? I mean, you get a stack on that Captain of the Guard every single time, and it really will add up.
Yeah, it really will add up. And then by late game, we can still have Catherine get nearly unkillable in some instances. It looks like
Palmatoro trolled him out, took the Elder Tree in it.
He sure did. And it looks like he is going to be building towards... he's got a Heavy Steel and a Swift Shooter right now. So he's building some attack speed. He's got some flat damage in there as well. Rekameza, I'd like to see him come out with that Aftershock. And if he's able to do that, he's going to get some really good bonus
Shroud Step
damage.
defensively, healing flask. PT Lamb getting lit up, 351 damage from the Spectral Smite activation there. And Palmatoro applying very nice damage in the lane. PT Lamb is just consistently on the back foot.
Yeah, he's been pushed back quite a bit here. He's got 40 CS. Techno JJ has 44, so not that big of a difference.
Up.
But here's a
Rikumeza looking, he's got the Nether Form detonator, gonna move in. Rikumeza trying to apply the damage. It's Palmatoro getting lit up, but Palmatoro has the sustain. Remember, he is the Cruel. Techno wants to drop in, but PT Lamb stunned up and chopped down. PT Lamb first to go down. First blood right here for Fnatic. They look about potentially chasing for more, but not gonna find him. Mowgli doesn't have a fountain, didn't have that burst healing.
Yeah, he doesn't have a fountain, but well, actually, Netwillet, I was about to say, now has the fountain, and that's going to be a good power spike for Netwillet here at 5 minutes into the game. Good stun coming out onto Rikameza. Looks like they're just going to have to back off for a little bit. Everybody's sitting on some, well, actually, Techno JJ's sitting on some pretty good gold. He's going to backport. He's got himself Poison Shiv, so that's going to allow him to do some pretty good sustain and damage here. Little attack speed. Fountain actually also picked up by Mowgli, so a little bit behind the Fountain power spike for Netwillet. And the sustain game, big here at 5.5 minutes in.
Net still sitting at 3 stacks per minute. It's like his own little mini game he's playing, and I find it very entertaining. Netwillet One of the most entertaining players, I think, actually in the scene, making it happen right now. Fnatic, another stun coming out here onto the Lyra. Mowgli taking a good amount of damage. Techno, JJ, Sonic zooming, getting those attacks from max range there. See the Fire Starter applied. Rikumeza doing a lot of work. Just consistently, the Scorcher looking to poke, looking to jump in with a Troublemaker. His Netherform Detonator was applied very nicely, I think, in the last engagement. I'm curious to see how he's going to play it out here in the next skirmish. Fnatic move forward. Another Scorch down. Netolette finding another stun. They don't want to commit onto this caster, and there's really no reason, but it leaves an opening for Fnatic to drop down into the jungle of Dynasty.
Look at PT Lamb, Humanist. He actually has a Sorrow Blade, and he's got a Weapon Blade as well. That's going to allow him to blink in and out of fights, and there's an engage.
A little poke gauge happening here right now. Palmatoro from Elsa. Oh, you got juked, Palmatoro! And Mowgli actually used his reflex to block that off, like he was just took one for the team. I don't think he even actually needed to do it, but he made it happen. Just showing him he's got the reflexes.
He's got the reflexes, and Palmatoro sitting at level 7 right now. He's got his from Hell's Heart, so that's a really big power spike for him.
Shroud Step.
Ooh.
PT Lamb looking to play some games here. All of a sudden, PT Lamb and Mowgli just turned it up, really going hard at Techno.
Yeah, going pretty hard here. It's interesting to see if you take a look at Palmatoro. He actually doesn't quite have that. He doesn't have a tier 3 item yet. He's just sitting on three weapon-powered items there, but not having the tier 3. He's got some extra pierce in there. PT Lamb throwing out that chakra. And they're pushing up this wave pretty good, Humanist, under this turret, and Palmatoro's fighting back.
Yeah, Palmatoro just kind of dead man's rushes him, lets them know you're not going to take this turret for free right now. I'm curious, Sean, I mean, what you think the call is here. Is Palmatoro going to go for a Bone Saw? Or is he going to get that breaking point first and into the Bone Saw? I mean, it seems like it would make a lot of sense. Double weapon. Hold that thought. We might get into in a second. Troublemaker. Rikumeza. He's going to go with the Netherform Detonator. Trying to get onto Techno, but Techno is just too elusive. He feels it coming, sees it coming, just Sonic zooms right out of there.
I would hope that Palmatoro does go for a Bone Saw because he's the one who's going to be on the front line, applying a lot of that first damage, brawling in there, soaking up a lot of the damage. He's going to be the distraction here. So if he can come in and he can get them to focus him while he applies damage and the weakness stacks. Oh, this turret's going pretty low.
Little Blast Trimmer coming in, and they have to punish the fact that PT Lamb had jumped in on Techno. Techno with the wait for it over the top side. Palmatoro trying to be the tank that his team needs. It's the dead man's rush. He's now vulnerable to damage. Rikumeza, do you want to chase? PT Lamb definitely does. Shroud Step forward. Scorcher applied to Net Toilette. Rikumeza cannot get in position to follow up here. Mowgli just doing his best to support his teammates as they look to chase there. But now this is going to be an opportunity potentially for Dynasty to take this turret down. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They jump in there. Net Toilette pops the healing flask, so he will stay alive, but the turret goes down.
A trade for a trade right there, Humanist. No deaths going on to either side, but we do have a turret going down for both sides. And looks like teams are just going to go ahead, reset, pick up some items. We do see PT Lamb picking up that Poison Shiv. That's going to allow him to some sustain as well as applying mortal wounds. And we do see an Echo actually coming out for Net Toilette. He is at level 6 now, so he's going to be able to throw down those blast tremors and really catch some people out and silence them up. But they need to be really careful about how they engage Dynasty Gaming because they don't want to miss a silence and have some abilities get used, like Rikumeza on throwing down his Netherform Detonator, throwing down his applying those fire starters and just doing such bonus damage.
I want to see a boomerang stun. Where are the boomerang stuns in my life? PT Lamb jumping in, getting lit up. PT Lamb's got a Shimmer Strike done by a little time, and he does go down. Palmatoro from Hell Short, right into Rikumeza's face. That's a double kill. Cruel turning up, Arcane Passage. Everybody can go through that, Mowgli, not just you. He's trying to juke him out, stun right there on top of a Scout Trap. Look at the max efficiency coming out of Fnatic. His Mowgli tries to juke them out there. Palmatoro making it happen. Not the triple kill, but he gets all 3. That'll be a gold miner as well as Fnatic blow this game open to, I mean, the net worth lead, but it feels like the control has been blown open.
Yeah, the control has been blown open now by Fnatic. What was actually interesting about that last team fight is that we did have the portal come out for Mowgli. He was trying to juke and get away. Immense gold payout going over to Fnatic there. And his bulwark came down just a little bit too late. And if he had thrown that bulwark down, it would have prevented just a few seconds longer delay for the side of Fnatic to come through that portal.
Man, That's pretty crazy. I think that's a good analysis there. But just looking back into the fight, and you see Fnatic, they're chasing Dynasty down from behind. Bright Bulwark is down from Mowgli here early on. A nice block on the Blast Shimmer, but what's the play here? Shimmer strike out. This is Tetno trying to find the damage on PT Lamb. He's got it, ladies and gentlemen. That's actually Palmatoro with Spectral Smite, turning it up, finding the kill. I don't even have 4 kills. This is insane. Palmatoro's having a crazy game. Riku Meza dancing around the jungle. They won't be able to find him there, and Mowgli is able to get out with his life, but Palmatoro and Netsled are going to drop down, probably take the Crystal Sentry. Oh, Riku Meza gets out with a recall, but, you know, as we said, they are moving for this Crystal Sentry, and they should be finding this right here.
Yeah, they're going to be finding that. Crystal Sentry defeated. 2 lives remaining, and we do see 34 Captain of the Guard stacks. It looks like Dynasty's looking for an engage again.
Yeah, PT Lamb potentially looking to get on Tetno. It's Net to Let dropping low. Palmatoro, Dead's Man's Rush right on in. Riku Meza not doing too much damage. In fact, he's taking a lot of the damage himself. This is Net to Let. Look at it. He's holding the fountain. Net to Let still has the fountain. Oh, there it will finally come out. Now the chase is on, but that is Mowgli falling down low. Breaking Point stacking up for Tetno. JJ. Tetno, hey, Fnatic coming through, taking the jungle away from Dynasty. Basically, you see all the resources on the map? They all belong to Fnatic now.
All resources do belong to Fnatic, Humanist. Oh man, and if only the base would belong to them, but that's probably going to be coming up in a few minutes. Fnatic doing so much work with Net Toilet here. 37 Captain of the Guard stacks, just tanking himself up. Palmatoro doing 5 kills, 5-0 here he's sitting. But no one has died on the side of Team Fnatic. This is just a steamroll so far, even though the gold doesn't necessarily show it. It's a 4,000 gold lead for them, 12.5 minutes into the game. Dynasty has really got to do something here if they're going to come out on top.
It does feel that way. Mr. Sean Ostino, Mr. New Daddy feeling good. Feeling good that Mr. Luke Vox is finding another advantage here, but I just don't know what the call is, because PT Lamb is like engaging. You see that Dynasty have made some engagements where it completely goes the other way, and then I just wonder, like, are they not really realizing the actual damage output potential and the control that's coming out of this Fnatic lineup?
No, I don't think they do realize it. Fnatic is just really taking advantage of objectives. We actually do see Nettoilet. Looking at him, he's just sitting there in the tri-bush, making sure that he's able to scout out if Dynasty is coming in while they take this gold miner. They
block the first blast trimmer. He's got another one coming. He just echoed that up. There's the stun. Second blast trimmer comes through. That's a 2-man silence. The wait for it over the top side. Bless the from Hell's Heart. Netherform detonator over the wall. Riku Meza buying a little bit of time, but Tetno JJ's on the chase. He's on to Mowgli. Mowgli, you're the stacks on my breaking point. Just kidding. It's PT Lamb. We switched over. We don't want to take the Arcane Passage. Shimmer Strike trying to buy a little bit of time. PT Lamb will go down here. 1 kill for Fnatic as Dynasty's ship is sinking. They're still on it, and they are in the middle of the ocean. This is a tough place to be in, Dynasty.
Their ship is sinking, and you don't want Riku Meza on this fire starter to be going into the water, because he needs to burn people up, and it looks like he's doing a little bit of that, but they kind of disengage a little bit.
That's not a bad play. They forced the fountain out of Fnatic. They're actually, in 20-25 seconds, they may find an opening here where they might have an advantage.
Yeah, they could have an advantage, but Aftershock. Look at this. They're so far ahead. Net Toilet feels the confidence to pick up an Aftershock so we can get some additional lifesteal. Shiver Steel also coming out on the Palmatoro. I feel like they really just want to slow down and kite the members of Dynasty as they fall back, because we've seen a lot of disengages from them. If Palmatoro can actually activate that Shiver Steel, get some auto attacks off, he's going to be able to slow them up even more and just to take them out very quickly. Riku Meza has got really good disengage potential, so does PT Lamb with his blink, but if Palmatoro can just get on top of him, he can continue doing the work he is. He's sitting at 5-0-1.
5-0-1, and it feels good, man. Palmatoro, one of the OGs showing up today. Mr. Dark Potato himself went off. If you guys did not get a chance to see the SKG2 series, watch those back later when the VODs go up. Some of these OG players just making it happen here now. Arcane Passage in as Mowgli looking to find Tetno JJ, who was isolated, but a swing and a miss there. It's going to leave Dynasty with a full count.
Yeah, full count of 50 seconds left to get on to that arcane passage again. It's a pretty good engage tool, but I don't know if you want to engage onto a comp that wants to dive you with
Another
this
stun, flash
Palmatoro.
tremor blocked off, but he should have a round 2 of that coming through soon here. I don't know, he didn't have it. Actually, here's the boomerang coming through, blocked off by Rikumeza. Oh my, what reflexes. What a delicious thing to watch, but PT Lamb getting taken down by Tetno, who's got about 13 breaking point stacks himself. Yo, Fnatic, that's not your turret. They'll go ahead and take the kill, and they'll back themselves off. Remember, Sean, we're past 15 minutes. Kraken has spawned on the map, so now that Fnatic take a fight, they can really force this Kraken take here, or they can use it as potentially a bait to force Dynasty in.
They very well could, and they're already pulling it into the opposing Tribush right now. They're definitely going to be forcing the fight right here, Humanist. Rekumeza and Mowgli, right now, they're sitting on the back foot. They're behind in their jungle. They're farming up, but it looks like the Kraken has actually been pulled to the opposite side, and it's going to go over to Fnatic right now. Oh, man. Once this Fnatic Kraken is on the leash, it's going to be extremely, extremely tanky. It's going to be very hard for Dynasty to deal with.
Unleashed, on the leash, I don't know what's happening here. Mowgli, break will work down. An attempted disengage, successful disengage actually. Mowgli, he's got to hold this down for his team. We need to see a godly Atlas Pauldron come out of Mowgli, and there you go. It's actually blocked off. Tetno, he blocked the Atlas Pauldron. What a play coming out here. Boomerang from Palmatoro from downtown comes in. He's actually going to find the kill with the hole from Hell's Heart. It's so good. Drop your Craigasms in the chat if you appreciate a boomerang from Hell's Heart for the kill. As Fnatic up 11-0, destroying, putting the boot down on Dynasty here in week 2 of Split 2. Fnatic really feeling themselves here.
That was a beautiful from Hell's Heart. It just came backwards. The boomerang all the way back. Didn't even need to stun up Rikumeza. He was so low on health, it just straight up killed him.
Oh,
and now they're coming into the base. They're going to be able to take it. I don't see it that Dynasty's going to be able to repel this attack.
Just overpower them. Just flex upon them, Fnatic. What is the play here? Oh, Dynasty actually making a good stand. Rikumeza trying to apply the damage with the Firestar, but it's not enough. Tetno sustains through it, enough to trade 1-for-1, leaving PT Lamb with Mowgli to try and fight against the healthy Kraken, plus Netwit and Palma Deadman's rush in. PT Lamb chopped down right there, and Mowgli can only cry one sad single tear as he watches his allies fall. He'll troll Netwit by sucking him into the fountain there with the Arcane Passage and taking him down, but Palmatoro will chunk through this Vein Crystal as Fnatic take this series 2-0.
Low and Steady wins the game here on the Fold for the side of Fnatic Humanist. It was just a slow ramp up, a continual aggression, a perfect game here, almost perfect game. 13-2 coming out for Fnatic. Really well played, and let's point